So we are starting with this, in the 5th canto. So we are reading this particular text, 5th canto, 19th chapter, the island of Jambudvi, and in that text number 9. So this is beginning of a new version. So there is different versions that are there in the whole of Jambudvi. There are there are different islands that are there. The central island is the Jambudvi, and in that we have many different Varshas are there. And so we have come to Bharata Varsha. So we have heard about many different Varshas. So now we come to Bharata Varsha. So this shloka is, it's in the text form or in the prose form. So it is a little difficult to chant there. So I'll just simply read it. Bharate ki Varshe Bhagavan Nara Narayana Akya Akalpam Antam Dharma Jnana Vairagya Aishwarya Upasama Upamara Atma Upalabdam Atma Upalambanam Anugrahaya Atma Vadam Anukampaya Tapaha Abhyaktagati Charati. So translation, Shivadeva Goswami continued, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are inconceivable. He has appeared in the form of Nara Narayana in the land of Bharatavarsha, at the place known as Badrikashrama, to favor his devotees by teaching them religion, knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. He is advanced in the opulence of spiritual assets, and he engages in executing austerities until the end of this millennium. This is the process of self-realization. Purport: people in India may visit the temple of Nara Narayana at Badrikashrama just to learn how the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its incarnation as Nara Narayana engages in austerities to teach people of the world how to achieve self-realization. It is impossible to realize oneself simply by absorbing oneself in speculation and material activity. One must be very serious about self-realization and the practice of austerity. Unfortunately, the people of this age of Kali do not even know the meaning of austerity. Under the circumstances, the Lord has appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow upon the fallen souls the easiest method of self-realization, technically called Cheto Darpana Marjan, cleansing the dirt from the core of one's heart. This method is extremely simple. Anyone can chant the glorious Krishna Sankirtanam, that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this age, there are different forms of so-called advanced scientific knowledge, such as anthropology, Marxism, Freudism, nationalism, and industrialism. But if we work very hard under their guidance, instead of adopting the process practiced by Nara Narayana, we shall waste our valuable human form of life. Thus, we shall certainly be cheated and misled. So this is a very nice introduction, into this new tract of land which we are studying. If you see in the Jambudvip or in all the different tracts of land that has been mentioned, so there are so many things that are happening. So we are practically the witness to be there in the Bharatavarsha. So there are many things that are happening in this world. So when the documentation, the spiritual documentation happens, so it is very nice to see that who are the great personalities who are worshipping the Supreme Lord over there, and which forms of the Supreme Lord are worshipped over there, and what is the practice or what is the process for self-realization, which is present in that tract of land. So this is what is documented. So basically, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find at one place Lord Brahma, after the creation, he is in so much of anxiety that the creation is done for a particular purpose. It is not that this whole creation is done without any purpose. So it is done for a particular purpose, where the living entities who are against the service of Supreme Lord, so they are all sent to this world so that they can be reformed and they can start again rendering service to the Supreme Lord. Then they can be sent back to the spiritual world. So this is the whole purpose. And so Lord Brahma is very much worried that the moment the creation happened, immediately everybody started becoming busy with sense gratification. So the purpose of creation is something, and the people started becoming busy with something else. So this is very clear. The purpose of creation is to train people to go back to Godhead. And here we see that when the documentation of different tracts of land in the whole universe is documented, so that time also the documentation is happening on this particular angle only, that in this tract of land, what is the facility available for the living entity to be trained and go back to Godhead. And so in order to be trained, so they need to worship a particular form of the Lord. So who is the form of the Lord that is worshipped? And in order to get trained, there should be some trainer also. Like who is the devotee, like expert devotee who is performing devotional service there. And what is the process of devotional service? So these three things, we see that it comes. And then in the past also you would have seen that any personality, like in the previous thing, if I'm not wrong, it is Ramachandra and Hanuman, right? So there is a whole lot of prayers that is offered by Hanuman, so that is documented. So like this is the method of worship, so this is the method of worship that is documented. So it is very, very purifying to see that how this Krishna consciousness is universal and it is practiced in every tract of land. Right? And here, when we come to the Bharata Varsha, it is mentioned, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are inconceivable. He has appeared in the form of Nara Narayana in the land of Bharata Varsha at the place known as Badrikashram to favor his devotees by teaching them religion, knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. He is advanced in the opulence of spiritual assets, and he engages in executing austerity until the end of this millennium. This is the process of self-realization. So in other varshas, we see that the Lord is there, he is receiving the service from the devotees. And in the Bharata Varsha, the Lord, the form of the Lord, the presiding deity of Bharata Varsha is Naranarayan Rishi. And the presiding deity itself, wants to engage in, is engaged in the performance of austerity. So generally we don't see that the Supreme Lord is engaged in austerity. So which all incarnations we see the Supreme Lord engaged in austerity? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vyasadev, okay. Narayana Rishi to hai. Rishabhadev also, yes. Yeah, and Vamana also to some extent, like Brahmachari means to execute austerity. So whenever the Lord assumes a particular form, so he will definitely discharge those this ones. Even as Lord Rama also, like during this forest stay, he performed austerities. So it is generally very means the devotees of the Lord, so they don't like to see the Lord performing austerities. So the very identity of the devotee is that he wants to render service to Krishna. So like devotee and the Lord, just living entity and the Lord just doesn't make the perfect combination. So the Lord is there. The Lord is there as the enjoyer, and the living entity is there, understanding his position as part and parcel of the Lord, and he wants to render service unto him. So this is the perfect combination, right? So Lord is desiring to engage his devotee in his service, and the devotee is also very nicely engaged in the service of the Lord. Sometimes the Lord may also render service to the devotees, but that devotee would not like to take service from the Supreme Lord, right? So this is the position. So in fact, I was reading Ramayana. So there this section that comes is the Shurpanaka. She comes to what is that? Address Lakshmana and Rama, and her proposal is that you are very beautiful and young, so why don't you marry me? So that is the proposal. And Rama and Lakshmana are not very interested. So Lord Rama, one reason we can say is okay, he has taken Ekapatni Vrata, so because of that he might have not encouraged. So but for the sages of Dandakaranya, they also wanted to serve the Lord as a consort. So and Lord Rama told that okay, fine, in the future incarnation, you can actually render service in that way. But for Shurpanaka, that kind of a thing is not offered. So what is the difference between Shurpanaka's approach to the Supreme Lord and the other devotees like the Gopis of Vrindavan? So they also rendered service to the Supreme Lord as a consort, as a lover, and things like that. And what is the difference? Why one person is criticized and another person is glorified. And in fact, it is mentioned as Ramya Kachitupasana Rajavadu. No? It is the best of all forms of worship. No, is the worship rendered by the devotees of Vrindavan, and especially the gopis of Vrindavan. So now, what is the difference? The difference is, now all these devotees, they wanted to render service to Krishna, and Surpanaka wants to enjoy Krishna. No, so this is a problem. No, this is a wrong equation. No, it is not just like I am there and the Lord is there. So now the devotee is there and the Lord is there. Like all the things will be proper. No. So the proper is like, the devotee must be in the mood of rendering service to Krishna and not trying to exploit Krishna. So this is not very much appreciated. And so here, especially like when the Lord performs austerities, that is very, very difficult for the devotee to digest. In fact, when we worship the Lord, we gorgeously decorate him and things like that. And even Gaur-Nitai, if we have Gaur-Nitai deities, so we don't decorate them. Have you ever seen Gaur-Nitai deities decorated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decorated as sannyasi? No, of course, he stayed as sannyasi for a long period of time. 24 years. He actually stayed as a sannyasi. So then in 48 years, 24 years he did that. So that means हम भी श्रृंगार ऐसा करना चाहिए ना. So हफ्ते में 3 दिन गृहस्थ वेश and 3 दिन संन्यास वेश है ना bro? ऐसा ऑफर करना चाहिए ना. So whatever Lord Chaitanya demonstrated, that same pastimes we should means decoration of the Lord, Shringar of the Lord is just if you see in the South India, you will find all 365 days, you will find various festivals will be there. If you go to Srirangam temple and all these things. So you will find that all the pastimes of the Lord are enacted in the form of rituals. And even the Rath Yatra festival in Jagannath Puri. So we find that all the pastimes of the Lord is enacted as various festivals. So that is how all the festivals are coined. And so when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has demonstrated his pastimes, equally as a Grihastha and also as a sannyasi, so why don't we decorate him like that? Why don't we offer, upacharas like that? So we don't do that because a devotee wants to see the Lord as an enjoyer. So Lord is Bhokta, and devotee is ready to take up all the austerities and penances for the service of the Lord. But he doesn't want the Lord to undergo any penances and austerities and things like that. And so, in fact, a devotee's happiness comes when the Lord and his consorts are united, and when the Lord is in happiness, the devotee is in happiness. So, but there are certain instances when the Lord actually appears and then he performs various austerities just to teach the common people and just to teach his devotees. So this is something a devotee would not so much appreciate this particular thing, considering the Lord's taking austerities. Right? So he has appeared in the form of Narayana in the land of Bharatavarsha and at the place known as Badrikashram. So Badrikashram is we generally when people go to the Himalayan region, so there is a region called Badrikashram. So but we understand from Madhvacharya's pastimes that Badrikashram there is something which is further than that also it is there. And Vyasadeva and great personalities like that, so they still reside over there. And that's where Madhvacharya got his initiation, and also he happened to explain his commentary to Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva himself approved and acknowledged his commentary. So in that way, it is very amazing place, Badrikashram. And just to favor his devotees, the Lord wants to favor his devotees. So how does he favor his devotee? By teaching them religion, knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. This is the favor that the Lord wants to do upon the devotee. So this is the favor that the Lord wants to bestow upon the devotee. And the Lord is described as advanced in the opulence of spiritual assets, and he engages in executing austerity until the end of millennium. This is the process of self-realization. So in the Bharatavarsha, like one inference that we can take is, right from the predominating deity of Bharatavarsha, everybody are performing austerities. So like Bharatavarsha is meant for austerities. This is definitely not a place for self-gratification. So in the material world, there are designated places, are there. This is like Bharatavarsha is like a tapobhumi, where tapasya happens. Like there are people who are materialists who are performing tapasya to go to heavenly planets and enjoy. And there are spiritualists who are performing tapasya to go back to the spiritual world and render service to the Lord. But both materialists and spiritualists, they perform only tapasya in the Bharatavarsha. So this is very important to note. So Bharatavarsha is not a place for enjoyment, it is a place for tapasya. So it is a very important inference that we can take. And we will find that in the further in the further shlokas, the devotee who's worshipping the Lord is Narada Muni. So Narada Muni, he is also in the mood of tapasya, and the deity is also in the mood of tapasya. So the Bharatavarsha is a place of tapasya actually. So, and here we see there is nice thing that is mentioned. The favor, what is the favor that the Supreme Lord bestows upon us? So in the morning we were discussing one shloka from Shad Goswami Ashtakam. So it is mentioned that Papo Tapa Nikantanau Tanubrutam Govinda Ganamrutam. So the living entities are suffering from the tapa, or the heat of material existence, due to the sinful activities, papo tapa, nikantanau tanubrutam. So Govinda Ganamrutam. So like what did the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who are very, very compassionate souls, who wanted to save the entire world, from the burning heat of this material existence. So what did they do, to relieve the people from the heat of material existence? Govinda Gana Amrita. So they perfectly documented the glorification of the Supreme Lord in line with the scriptures, in line with the Parampara. So they did this act of glorification of the Supreme Lord. So it is very important. The austerity actually it comprises of like exposing ourselves to the transcendental sound vibration. So that is the process that is brought by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis. And the process that is brought by Naranarayana Rishi is it's of knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. So this is technically it appears to be like the Jnana Marga. So but Jnana Marga is also a form of devotional service, and it's very, very powerful. And we find similar kind of statements in Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Rajavam, Acharya, Vasanam, Socham. So like all those this ones if you see, so you will find a similar kind of this one. But whatever may be the process of Krishna consciousness, be it like Krishna consciousness in knowledge or Krishna consciousness in bhakti, whatever may be the process of Krishna consciousness. So the basic elements is one need to control the senses being engaged in sense gratification, and one need to apply the senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. So these are the two very important components of the austerity. And Srila Prabhupada mentions here that it is the Naranarayana, so they engage in austerities to teach the people of the world how to achieve self-realization. So, and here he is mentioning, it is impossible to realize oneself simply by absorbing oneself in speculation or mental activity. So what is the speculation and mental activity? Speculation means just jnana without bhakti, and material activity means like just karma without bhakti. So this is like any time any definition of bhakti comes, immediately its counterparts are mentioned. What it is and what it is not. So what it is not, what is this is how even in mathematics and science also we have studied. So when we study a particular object, then we study it as okay, this is what is this object and this is not. So we also study the converse of the theorem. So like that. So here also we see that. So what is bhakti? Bhakti means to engage in the service of the Lord, and what is not bhakti? So to aspire for liberation, to aspire for material sense gratification, and things like that, it is not bhakti. And definitely, adharma is not bhakti. So these are all things that often that has been characterized, like whenever the definition of bhakti comes. So it is mentioned here that it is not possible just by executing karma. One will proceed towards self-realization. Or it is not possible just by executing jnana, one will proceed towards liberation. So it is not possible. So the self-realization requires the component of bhakti. Without the component of bhakti, one cannot achieve self-realization. So I find whenever this even in this shloka that I quoted, amanitvam adamvitvam, so this is defined as the process of knowledge, and there Srila Prabhupada nicely mentions, so if one executes all these things along with Mayi Chananya Yogena Bhakti Rabhya Vicharini, so one can attain the benefits of jnana, so that is self-realization and things like that. But then, if one exclusively takes up to bhakti, without executing other items of jnana, still one can get the benefit of jnana, right? So that means what element actually produces the effect of jnana. So the effect of jnana is liberation, and that is possible if you perform the angas of jnana along with bhakti, it produces liberation. On the other hand, if you just perform bhakti, also it produces liberation. And third equation is, if you minus bhakti and use only the items of knowledge, it will not produce liberation. So who produces liberation then? Bhakti only produces liberation, right? And in the same way, like karma also, we find that many places it is explained that if somebody performs the items of karma, that is varana duties and ashrama duties and things like that, and without without executing bhakti, he cannot get material opulences or material benefits. And on the other hand, if you simply execute bhakti, one will get material opulences also. So even the material benedictions also coming from the bhakti component of the karma, like the karma process. So bhakti is the life-giving force. Without the support of bhakti, none of the processes actually can produce any results. So bhakti is the life-giving force, and bhakti can never be minused from any of the processes. So be it karma, jnana, yoga, or whatever may be the process. So bhakti can never be given up. Everybody must perform bhakti. And here it is mentioned that one must be very serious about self-realization and the practice of austerity. And Prabhupada also mentions, unfortunately, people of this age of Kali do not even know the meaning of austerity. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, so we know the meaning of austerity, from our rules and regulations that we are following. So there is regulation for everything in relation to sense gratification. So there is a very interesting regulation is there. So whichever sense gratification is there, for example, sleeping is there. So there is a regulation, a yogi, a serious practitioner in Krishna consciousness. So he should, take rest how much? 6 hours. And in some purports, Prabhupada mercifully says 7 hours also. So maybe according to the bodily condition, health condition and things like that. So a particular time is fixed. And how does a yogi sleep? Any other attributes of the yogi's sleep? So all of you are yogis, like bhakti yogis, some attributes of yogi's sleep.
Remembering Lord before sleeping, so that
Okay.
sleep also can be practice, and after waking also use the Swarup Mandala Japa.
Okay. Any other attributes of sleep? Yes.
Don't eat heavily before sleep.
Don't eat heavy. No, sleep itself. No, any other attributes of sleep? You can. Yes.
We're taking rest for proper perform next day.
Okay, to be rejuvenated and to render service and all. So I'm just talking about more practical or mechanical platform.
Maybe from
One of the practices of a yogi is that his dinacharya should be constant. In the same time, same thing, same time every day. So this is something that a yogi does. So why he has to do this? Why he has to do this? No, what benefit it will give?
Discipline life.
So, see, like, there is so much of dynamics is there in Krishna consciousness, no? Like, Ananda, Mudivardhanam, Pratipadam, so like the holy name can reveal unlimited things to us. And Bhagavatam also can reveal unlimited things to us. So, like, a devotee wants to keep all the dynamics in the devotional service. And he wants to make everything material constant, you know? So, anything that is dynamic, no, there needs to be a thought process. Aaj kitna baje soenge? So like devotee doesn't want to waste that time also. Time is fixed. उतना ही बजे सोएंगे कुछ सोचना नहीं उसका. You know? So like time is fixed. The dress like no अभी कौन सा कलर ड्रेस पहनेंगे like एक ही कलर है. अभी कुछ ज़्यादा thought process नहीं है. So like whatever material is there, so make it constant. No thought process, no time and energy, no invested on that. And everything spiritual. Like no अभी आज भगवान का क्या भोगा बनाएंगे तो that is like no okay that I'll use all my intelligence no all my creativity and things like that and also no and what shringar I'll do to the Lord and things like that so my shringar तो like no एक ही है like you know there is nothing no change you know every day it is same no tilak be like no वही line no वही shape so not much of a change right so like but Lord's no anything that is in relation to the Lord no that is like very nicely worked out in detail and anything in relation to oneself no that is kept constant so like same time going to bed same time raising up same time doing like all the various things that also makes that also allows the devotee to become more and more deeper in Krishna consciousness the same fixed schedule it makes a very very powerful impact in the like in the life of a yogi that he can go much more deeper so the whole difficulty a yogi is facing is not that how much of information he can get or how much of knowledge he can acquire and things like that. That is like anybody who comes to Krishna consciousness 6 months to 1 year, like he'll understand the basic philosophy and probably like if he spends like few more years, like he will understand or he would have read all the books of Srila Prabhupada and like what's more. So the thing that is what needs to be achieved is we want to go deeper and deeper into Krishna consciousness. We want to see the milestones of self-realization coming up, like it is milestones of Krishna consciousness, in Bhagavad Gita it is nicely given. The first milestone is self-realization, then after that the God realization, then after that, Paramatma, like God realization is Paramatma realization, and then like Bhagavan realization. So like, so Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, these realizations have to be uncovered. So that is the thing, like externally, nothing major is going to change. It is internally how deeper we are going to go into Krishna consciousness. So this is the very important thing that a devotee wants. And for that, these two things are very essential. That is mentioned about, one must be very serious about self-realization and practice of austerity. So this is given in many different forms, like in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned as Abhyasa and Vairagya. So Abhyasa means like we need to engage in those things which will awaken the self-realization or which is directly the angas of bhakti. So that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam and things like that. And then Vairagya is like separating the senses from sense gratification. So these two things are very essential aspect of our devotional practice. So it is like Abhyasa is like lighting the wood with fire, and Vairagya means like keeping the wood dry. So that is the this one. So like if I light the wood with fire and simultaneously I pour water also, so like then it will take a lot of time for wood to catch fire and it will also produce a lot of smoke. There's a lot of disturbance and things like that. So that is why proactively a devotee should try to reduce the sense gratification and then like increase the aspect of engagement in the bhakti. So these two things are very very integral part of any of the yoga systems and it applies to bhakti yoga as well. Right? So unfortunately the people of this age of Kali do not even know the meaning of austerity. So like if you see people tell that tapas karna chahiye. And so what क्यों तपस करना चाहिए तो like तपस्या नहीं करेंगे तो अच्छा डिग्री नहीं मिलेगा तो तपस्या नहीं करेंगे तो अच्छा जॉब नहीं मिलेगा तपस्या नहीं करेंगे तो अच्छा पैसा नहीं मिलेगा so like this is like the tapasya is not meant for this tapasya means to retract the senses from sense gratification and to engage the senses in service of Krishna. No, that is the effective this one of tapasya. Now sometimes like devotees also feel ki like so morning program kiya like this one, Mangalarti, then chanting and Guru Puja and Bhagavatam class and things like that and all. And we call devotees for this program. And sometimes devotee tell कि like no, तो जी कुछ तो मेहनत करना चाहिए, यही मेहनत करना है, हमारा मेहनत यही है कि like no, so like every single day attending Mangalarti, every single day chanting the names of the Lord, every single day like accepting only prasadam, every single day studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is our austerity, this is our austerity, and so this is the thing that we need to perform because like this is given in parampara, by the acharyas. And this is very, very powerful. So like this is well designed actually. So we should not, the effective definition of austerity is that we should avoid sense gratification and we should indulge in Krishna consciousness. Okay? So unfortunately people of this age, they don't know the meaning of this austerity and they are trying to perform austerities for useless like endeavors. So under these circumstances, okay, so now how can we say it is useless endeavor to earn money for one's livelihood? So it is useful, right? Like it is very essential also. So now how can we say it is useless endeavor?
You are not using that money in Krishna,
Okay. So but even otherwise, like you are meant to take care of your dependents. The leader of the family is meant to take care of the dependents. He has to like legitimately take care of the needs and necessities of the family. So what is mentioned here, what we are discussing about is austerity. So like austerity, there also austerity is there. So what is the austerity? I will perform only those kind of profession which is not against the Vedic principles. Why? Because I want to advance in self-realization. And while executing those like such a profession, I will not again use adharma or any other forms of things which is against Vedic dharma. So to engage in that profession. So these are all austerities that he performs. And then like if I perform only like that, and then also like he performs a profession which is which is suitable for his nature, So like according to his varna and ashrama position, and he performs an occupation like that. So then a question may come that like if I do something else, I will get much more money than this. No. That is the austerity means to tolerate the material benefits and to only for the sake of spiritual benefit. So one need to perform his material activities also. That is mentioned nicely. Tasaiva hetu prayate tuko vido nalabhyate yad brahmatam uparyada. So tan labhyate dukkavad anyata sukham karena sarvatra gaviraham brahmasa. So this is, it says that whatever you are supposed to get, how much money you are supposed to get, all these things are prefixed by your past activities. So already by your past activities, like you have determined what kind of happiness and distress is going to come in this life. So then why should I work at all? No, like this body and energy is given by the Lord and it has to be utilized in the service of the Lord. And according to our realization, so we need to engage in one of the bona fide activities, dharmic activities. So that must be performed. There is no question of we being like not doing any activity. We must perform an activity. So and that activity must be in line with the dharma, and it should be facilitating, like spiritual advancement, and not for material advancement. Material advancement because based on the punya that I performed in the past life, I will get happiness, and based on the sins that I performed in the past life, I will get distress. So that should not be the guiding force for performing my material activities. The guiding force to perform my material activities is like for future preparation. It is like my work is for future preparation. And the result, it's just like if you are working this month overtime and things like that. So when will you get the incentives for that? Next month you will get. So in the same way, if you are working now in this life, if you are dharmically working, the result of that will come in the next life. So the past life, whatever we have worked, that only we will get in this life, right? So we should not try to too much alter the situation, or too much alter our material situation. That is not very much appreciated, like especially for spiritual practitioners, even for materialistic people. So it is not very much appreciated. So because trying to adjust things like in this life, trying to adjust my material position in this life too much, no, it becomes like an adamic activity. No, it's just like, no, in the last month, no, I didn't work, or in the last month I didn't work very well, so I got half salary. And then this month I am working very nicely, and then I am demanding like मुझे पूरा salary चाहिए, like नहीं करेंगे, नहीं देंगे, तो like I'll forcibly take money from the company. So then that will become criminal act actually, you know. So I should not do that. So if you work nicely, then next month salary में आ जाएगा. चिंता मत करो, like, you know. And इस महीने कितना मिला, like उतना ही है. जो प्रसाद मिला है उसको ले लेना चाहिए. So that is something very important, that a spiritual practitioner, no, he always sees that with my legitimate effort, whatever benefit, whatever material facilities I am getting, I should happily accept that without any grudge. And if I try to alter it, so there is so much of problem is there. My whole life is designed. No, it's like my family is designed. My further course of activities are designed. So many things are designed right the time. No, I'm taking birth. So now I try to whenever we recently we bought some vehicle for our FFL kitchen to transport prasadam from one place to another, and these vehicles have a particular capacity. And our devotees were little lalat se like bada dabba bana diya, no, two-wheeler ka piche. And when they loaded the vehicle, actually, the front wheel upar aa gaya. So, and then see, like the manufacturer tells कि इतना लोड ले सकते हैं गाड़ी, नो, अगर लालच से ज्यादा लोड करेंगे तो गाड़ी will not function properly. So in the same way, no, when I take birth, no, my this vehicle is designed for certain load. No, इतना ही material opulence ये सहन सकता है. इससे ज्यादा material opulence आएगा तो life topple हो जाएगा actually. So ज्यादा, like, no, we should not even aspire for more actually. No, we should see that whatever legitimately, with legitimate occupation, if I am getting certain amount of material benefits, I should happily accept. I should not work for more material benefits. No, so that will probably like topple my life. No, so that is not meant for me actually. So a king is, his life is designed royally, and my life is designed frugally, like whatever way it is. So I should be happy with whatever naturally it comes of execution of my dharmic profession, right? So in that way, austerity should not be directed. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam it says the austerity should not be directed. Kamasyanendriya priti lavo jiveta yavata jivasa tattva jignasa and nato yasya karmavi, something like that. So this is like very nice. This is this particular shloka. It talks about the first kind of Bhagavatam. Can you get me? This one? Another one shloka which I am speaking about just before Tasya Vahetu. It is there first time. So it is, dharma should never be performed for the sake of artha and kama. This is a very, very important principle that actually comes. Dharma should never be performed for the sake of artha and kama, and dharma should be performed for the sake of moksha. For the dharmasya hi apavargasya. That is the shloka. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. So nato arthayopakalpate. So like dharma should never be performed for like artha and kama. So like nartha arthayopakalpate. So dharma's artha or dharma's goal should not be artha, no economic development. So dharma's goal should be for the sake of like apavarga or moksha. Apavarga means something beyond the material existence. So that is moksha. So there is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These four things are there. So when you perform dharma, so you can get artha and kama, or when you perform dharma, you can get moksha. So you can like translate this dharma for any one of these two benefits. So dharma can be exchanged for artha and kama, or dharma can be exchanged for moksha. So if you exchange it for artha and kama, you will not get moksha. So if you exchange for moksha, then you will not get artha and kama. So like this is this one. This whole section of Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto, this very nicely covers this aspect that this dharma means like varna and ashrama duties that must be performed for the sake of apavarga. No? So one's material duties also should be performed for the sake of apavarga or ultimate liberation or going back to God. And then it should not be performed for like artha and kama. Nartasya dharmaikantasya. So even if you get artha, it should be performed, it should be utilized for the sake of dharma only. And kamo labhaya hi smrutaha. So like this one, the artha should never be utilized for kama. So this is also very nicely put forward in this particular shloka. So why should one live in this way? That is explained in the Tasyaiva Heto shloka that whatever material benefits I require, whatever the sense gratification that I require, that is already prefixed by my past activities, and according to that it will come. So you only invest your time on shaping your future life, don't waste your time shaping your current life. So current life will go as per the past direction. So that is mentioned. And then under these circumstances, the Lord has appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow upon the fallen souls the easiest method of self-realization, technically called Cheto Darpana Marjana, cleansing the dirt of the core of one's heart. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the easiest path of self-realization, that is chanting the names of the Lord. So this process is generally starting with one time chanting, then after that we go to 4 rounds chanting, then 8 rounds chanting, 12 rounds chanting, 16 rounds chanting, like that. One develops in such a way that Bhaktivinoda Thakur he mentions he should develop this process of chanting or his habit of chanting in such a way that before quitting the body, he should not be doing anything else apart from chanting. So that is the process of gradually increasing the chanting this one. And what are the alternatives that we have for chanting? So we also have the alternatives of recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is also as good as Sankirtan, right? And what other alternative that we have? So recitation of the pure sound vibration, transmission of pure sound vibration, this is called Sankirtan. So we also have the book distribution, which Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he puts it in his logo, under the Raga Marga Bhakti, where he categorizes under Sankirtan, where Mridanga, Kartal and printing press. So 3 things he actually puts. Because the sound vibration of a liberated Acharya, like Srila Prabhupada, that is recorded in the form of books, and that when it is transmitted to another person, so that is effectively Sankirtan. In fact, I was reading this wonderful book by Vaisheshika Prabhu called Our Family Business. So in that, Vaisheshika Prabhu nicely mentions that, so in the beginning days, when this book distribution was introduced, Prabhupada was so happy. And so books are distributed and then devotees started making incense business and recording of Hare Krishna mantra by various devotees and things like that, and also all these different businesses developed and nice revenue came. And Prabhupada told, don't waste your time in all this useless business. Our only business is to distribute books. We are not businessmen to do all this kind of transactions. Our business is we have to absorb the transcendental sound vibration and we have to disseminate the transcendental sound vibration. So that is our business. So this book distribution, the chanting of the names of the Lord, recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, or studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam, and distribution of literature. So these are all the prime activities or topmost sadhana that has been given to us in the Guru Parampara. And a devotee, as he is preparing himself to go back to Godhead, so he should develop himself in this way, more and more. And towards the end of life, he should be fully engaged in Sankirtan. So that is the whole idea of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he brought. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought this Hare Krishna mantra, so his personal preaching was so effective. He didn't go through Shraddhavan, Krishna Seva, Krishna Sadhaka and things like that. Anybody who sees Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting the names of the Lord, they could not stop chanting the names of the Lord. Continuously they used to chant. In fact, there is this pastime of the fisherman. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was going by the like banks of the ocean and like the shore of the ocean, and then immediately he remembered Yamuna, and he jumped into the ocean thinking it is Yamuna. So he was feeling intense separation from Krishna, and like anything that reminds him of Krishna, immediately like he's quite impulsive, and he just jumps into the ocean. And fisherman, like he's fishing over there, like उनको लगा कि like नेट में कुछ बड़ा मछली पकड़ा गया, so like today I've got a very big booty, and then he with lot of endeavor he lifted, and then he saw that like a very pale body, which is very elongated and which appeared to be like a ghost or a dead body, and then the moment he touched that body, immediately he started chanting and chanting Rugunai. And so there in the other side, like all the devotees are searching, where is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And when they were searching, like kuch ata pata nahi chal raha, like all the usual places, either he'll be there in the Simhadwar of Jagannath temple, or he may be there in like some garden. So like because like whenever he sees a garden with nice trees and bushes and things like that, so he gets reminded of Vrindavan. So like he goes there, and then what other place? Chatak Parvat. So like whenever he sees this Chatak Parvat, he also gets reminded of Govardhan, and then what was that? Thank you. So, like, he gets reminded of Govardhan whenever he sees Chatak Parvat. He sometimes he's found lying there. So like now they have searched all the usual places, and they could not find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then, somebody was saying, here is one person constantly chanting, that is a place Mahaprabhu will be there. So like, this is the effect, kidhar kuch chanting chal raha hai, like means, that is a place like Lord is there. So then they went there, and they asked this fisherman, what happened? And he was telling, पहले मुझे बताओ, किसी exorcist बोलते हैं ना उसको, like भूत पकड़ने वाला को बस लेके जाओ, कुछ भूत पकड़ गया. So and these people are like, so this one ki like how is it that he is constantly chanting the names of the Lord and bhoot bhi pakad liya usko. So, and it's quite possible, and many times devotees also encounter such things. There are some certain powerful ghosts, like who can even enter into the body of devotees. Brahma Rakshasas, like for them, you chant the names of the Lord, kuch nahi hoga actually. You have to be a very powerful devotee to oppose such ghosts. So, like Chota Mota ghosts, just inattentive chanting and all those things is possible. But Amara chanting will not drive away, some powerful ghosts and things like that. For that, we need to become more deeper in Krishna consciousness. But anyways, the sign is Mahaprabhu, when he came here, like during this personal audience, so when people took up the chanting, they took up the chanting very, very seriously. Even in the case of Srila Prabhupada, whenever, like even the Westerners, when they took up the chanting very seriously. Throughout the day they were chanting. Like, the whole morning program and the whole day, they would go out in the street and chant Hare Krishna and come back and have Gaur Aarti and all these things. And any time any engagement is not there, you would see that Prabhupada's class is also ending with, okay, that's it, now chant Hare Krishna. So like, chanting Hare Krishna was constant activity, that they were doing. And literally, like, they were finding so much of bliss in the process of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So, in this way, like, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually brought up this very simple process of chanting this Hare Krishna. So, which we need to cultivate, over a period of time. We need to expand, the time that is spent and the quality that is invested in the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. And when it is done in that way, then Cheto Darpana Marjanam happens, the cleansing of the dirt from the core of one's heart. And there is a lot of things which is there in this first stanza of Shikshashtakam, so we will not get into that now. This method is extremely simple. Anyone can chant the glories of Krishna, so or Krishna Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this age, there are different forms of so-called advanced scientific knowledge, such as anthropology, Marxism, Freudism, nationalism, and industrialism. So, but if we work very hard under their guidance, instead of adopting the process practiced by Nara Narayana, we shall waste a valuable human form of life. Thus, we shall certainly be cheated and misled. So, this is also there in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it's told that Dharma Swanishtita Pumsam Vishwakshena Kadashriya Norpare Devirati Shrame Eva Hi Kevalam. So, like the Prabhupada mentioned, it's just simply waste of our human form of life if we get into all this other things. So this purport of Srila Prabhupada is a very, very powerful and complete purport, where he mentions what we need to engage in and what we should not engage in also. So what we should not engage in is mental speculation or like material sense gratification, and also we should not engage in the practices of adharma, such as like anthropology, Marxism, Freudism, nationalism, industrialism, and things like that. So, anthropology, what is anthropology? Huh?
Study of evolution.
Study of evolution. Okay. So anthropology, another form is anthropomorphism. So there it is worshipping of some animal as a god. So like that. So and then we have this Marxism. Marxism is, Srila Prabhupada very elaborately also mentions in some of his books, the capitalism and the communism. So both of them, their common, what is their common agenda? What is their common agenda? So common agenda is sense gratification. So one person is telling no, sense gratification has to be done in this way, another person is telling sense gratification has to be done in another way. So like it is just a matter that all the assets belongs to the state, and like no individual should own excess. So everything belongs to the state, and सभी का सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन इक्वली बराबर बांट के दिया जाएगा. So किसी को ज्यादा किसी को कम ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. सबको बराबर सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन मिलना चाहिए. And capitalism talks about like this one, somebody is capable of earning more, and let him have more sense gratification, and somebody is not very capable, let him have less sense gratification. जिसको जितना औकात है उतना gratify करेगा, उसमें क्या problem है? So which is the best system amongst these two? The sense gratification itself is a wrong proposal actually. So service to Krishna, be it capitalism or like communism, if service to Krishna is added, so then it is all good. So anything that is separated from Krishna, so that becomes atheistic, that becomes material, and that becomes like miserable actually. So anything that is added with Krishna, so like Srila Prabhupada often condemns the modern education to be like slaughterhouse and things like that. So what is the problem with the modern education? So is science problem, is geography problem, even fifth canto like full of geography is there, and history problem, like pura Bhagavatam history hai. So what is the problem with our modern education? The problem with the modern education is all the subject matter is fine, you have cut Krishna from there. That is the problem. So why are you cutting Krishna and giving? So that is our contention. Our contention is not about like what is this one, like why if for example like today, if all the news channels, all the newspapers, everybody are reporting all the news in relation to Krishna, so we will be the first ones who will take all the newspapers and read, because they are describing the facts and figures in separation from Krishna, not in relation to Krishna. This is demoniac. That's why we don't accept that. So this is very important in this one. So, and Freudism, it's another form of intense sense gratification. And nationalism. So nationalism means what? Like I have born in this particular country. So because of that, because I am great, this country is great. So like this country has to be protected. So that is like nationalism. So like if a person becomes devotee, he will start thinking about the welfare of all living entities. So Prahlad Maharaj, he talks about that welfare of all living entities. What is that? Swasthastu Vishwasya Kalaprasidataam Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodiyam Manascha Badrat Vajatam Adokshiti Aveshatam no Matiram Vyahetuki. So like a devotee starts thinking of welfare of all living entities. Why only living entities of one's own nation? No, like one should think about the welfare of all living entities, right? So, and the industrialism is another form of exploitation of material nature. It is not just a definition of sense gratification, but it is also active exploitation of material nature, which is one of the energies of the Supreme Lord. So this is like a serious, we can say Appasampradaya. These are all Appasampradayas basically, modern forms of Appasampradaya. So like our Purvacharyas, they had to only defend like Mayavad, like defeat Mayavad and things like that and defend Krishna consciousness. And we have a lot more things to defend now. So like many philosophies, many new forms of sense gratification is actually coming. And we should actually defeat them and defend the pure form of Krishna consciousness. So, but if we were, the other things that is there is, which I wanted to, it's already 10:15. So, like, should we take a little more time? No? So, another form which is quite rampant, which Srila Prabhupada also criticizes, saying that Bhagavad Sapta and things like that and all. So, because Bhagavatam is very wonderful, but that is being used for my own gratification. That is a problem actually. So this is again coming back to that Surpanaka, this one. So Surpanaka was like on the order of Rama, like nose and ears were cut, and then she goes to Kara, her brother, and then like he asks like, who did this thing to you? Tell about that enemy of ours. Like, please describe about that person. Where does he live? Where is he? Just give me the whereabouts. I'll go and kill him. And Shurpanaka starts telling, these are terrific people. And who are? What is the terrific people? One fault she could not describe about Rama. She's telling that he's having lotus eyes. He's having broad chest, beautiful features, and elongated arms, and his power is like this and that. All glorification of Lord Rama is going on. And then finally she tells, I could not enjoy him, and now you should kill him, and unka blood leke aaye, humko peena hai. So this is the whole thing. That the thing is, when Surpanaka is explaining about Lord Rama, the commentary of those slokas actually speaks about that even the demons, when they meditate about the Lord, when they glorify the Lord, they get pleasure. It is not only that devotees, when they chant the names of the Lord, they get pleasure. So, and specifically, instance that is cited is when Krishna jumps into the Kalia lake, when he is diving in and he is going towards Kalia. Kalia is able to see the beautiful face and the broad chest of Krishna, baby Krishna. And the Kalia is mesmerized with the whole thing. She's the Kalia is so enamored with the beautiful form of the Lord. So the beautiful form of the Lord or the glories of the Lord is not just appreciated by the devotees, it is appreciated by the demons as well. So but the devotees appreciate only to render service to the Lord, and the demons, they appreciate because ye acha lagta hai, so humko acha lagta hai, so this is the problem. So even in the modern day, we find this now the Hare Krishna mantra or different kinds of bhajans that are used for one's sense gratification, right? So the modern trending things are there. So okay, people who are completely ignorant, for them it may create some kind of sukruti. But if devotees get engaged in that, that can create serious problem. The devotees want to engage in the angas of bhakti only for the sake of pleasing the Supreme Lord, not for one's own pleasure, and not for facilitating others' sense pleasure. So this is very, very important. We also execute Harinam Sankirtan, we also execute various forms of bhakti, distribution of prasadam or recitation of Bhagavatam or things like that. But it should be performed only for the service of the Supreme Lord and not for gratification of my senses or somebody else's senses. Only Lord's senses should be gratified, and that will create revolution in the society about this pure spreading of Krishna consciousness. This revolution will actually come about, and for that we need to constantly speak about the pure form of Krishna consciousness and we should also constantly speak about like whatever is the impure forms of imitation of Krishna consciousness or Krishna consciousness used for somebody's personal benefit, right? So that also we must actively speak about, right? So with this I pause today's discussion. Any questions, comments we can do?
When we please Lord, we by product we get pleasure. So that automatically comes to us.
That is fine. That is fine.
Let's say in Bhagavad Gita, I think you said what is wrong there. Point.
So the point is to like the just audience को ऐसा pastime सुनना अच्छा लगता है, you know, like
Not
so,
on the fact, but
not on. I must recite it for the glorification of the Lord and pleasure of the Lord. So that is not the this one. Audience may also get pleased, if the audience is also nice devotees, sincere seekers of Krishna consciousness. So then when pure glorification of the Lord happens, the audience also may become pleased. And the speaker may also tell, just for your satisfaction and your pleasure, I have executed this katha. So that may also be there. But the speaker should also be very clear that I have done only for the service of Krishna. And he should know that these are also devotees of the Lord. And they will become happy when the Lord is served. So in that reason, if somebody tells like, Aapka prasannata ke liye main kiya, so then it is fine. But then externally, without Lord being in the context, just like acha enjoy kijiye, just directly enjoying the Lord is a problem. So that is one important thing. Like here we studied this abhyasa and vairagya. So we should systematically try to see like the literature, like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we know very for sure. It is in the mood of pleasing the Supreme Lord. And the devotee association, like who are in the mood of pleasing the Supreme Lord. So we should take association. And we should actively reduce our association with people who are wanting to enjoy the material nature or wanting to enjoy the Supreme Lord. So we should reduce that. So by our proper association, we will develop this one. So like Srila Prabhupada gives the example of iron rod kept in the fire. So if it is constantly kept in the fire, so then it will acquire the properties of fire. So in the same way, we have sufficient, the yogi or a devotee must be very, very diligent. Like what am I engaged in? I should not engage in sense gratification, but I should engage in dharmic activities. Dharmic activities, especially the bhakti activities. Right? So in that way, he should be very careful about avoiding things which will aggravate the disease and careful in maximizing the intake of things which can cure the disease. Like that.
So, as you said, that because of past karma, we may get difficulties in terms of financial, health, and many other things. So, what should be more of practitioner that they how to tolerate that? Because sometimes it becomes difficult, and one may try to have different ways and means outside of our practices to get solution to our problems.
So nice question. It is very practical for all of us. That based on our past punya and papa, we get happiness and distress, we get financial problem, we get health problem, we get so many different problems. So should we not act on it at all, or should we just tolerate? How much to act and how much to tolerate. So this is like what is the basic minimum thing that is to be done. So that should be done. So in fact, when health is not good, we need to go to the doctor, or we need to ensure our daily practices. So like one devotee was mentioning, one of the austerities to keep the health good is that how much I am able to digest, only that much I should take, and whatever you put inside, you should ensure it's taken outside also. So if you do this much, health will be good. So don't eat too much, and whatever you eat, you have such habits that you will be able to evacuate also. So that is something that is very root of all the health this ones. And we need to practice all these necessary things. If I don't give sufficient sleep, if I don't give sufficient water and sufficient fruits and other things and all, so then digestion will not be proper, and then excretion also will not be proper. Then I'll always have health issues. So this problem will be there. So now, like I should not like over endeavor to do so many different kind of treatments. Like the treatment should be in such a way that like basic whatever I can do in my dinacharya I am able to do, and then I should try to endeavor for like the legitimate treatments which are there, like which I can access. And even beyond that, even after trying, no, even beyond that, it is not curable. Means it is not curable. No, now I should tolerate. So, but some things are curable. No, some things are curable, and some things are within the limits of our karma to cure. And if it is there, like by our minimal endeavor, so we will be able to get over that, and we should be happy with that. So in that way, like where to draw the limit, that is something that we need to consult with our like devotees and things like that. And one of the basic factors is the whole life is meant for tapasya and for self-realization. So without disturbing the self-realization, how much I am able to do, I must do. So one devotee, he was telling long back, like this thing he used to mention, that he like if our main thing in our life is chanting the names of the Lord and studying of Bhagavatam and things like that. In our home, we need to have like very respectable place for these books and our deities and things like that. And मान लीजिए प्रलय आ गया, so then like at that time तो like घर छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा. So like what all things you will take and go. So you should take if you can prepare a boat, you should take all the devotional paraphernalia and material things. So like कितना ले सकते हैं, like so you should take that. And then like it becomes too much that even the boat is also about to topple. So you can put some books out. But then like you should have Japamala तो होना चाहिए and Bhagavatam चैतन्य चरितामृत होना चाहिए. और भी ज़्यादा खतरा आ गया तो भागवतम डाल सकते हैं. So और भी ज़्यादा खतरा आ गया तो चैतन्य चरितामृत का साथ डूब जाओ. उससे ज़्यादा like बचने को कुछ फायदा नहीं है. बच के कुछ फायदा नहीं है उसके बाद. So like so this is how the estimation is done. So that our self-realization, the things that are necessary for self-realization, that should not be left out. So that basic aspects of this one, and then we can like work out how much time, how much energy can be like utilized for setting right our health problems, financial problems, and things like that. So beyond a particular point, like if it is not solvable, it is not solvable. We just then after that tolerate, and then we execute our Krishna consciousness. So because we have a budget of Krishna consciousness and we have a budget for material things. And that material budget can be expanded a little bit, when during crisis. But beyond that, if it too much encroaches upon the spiritual budget, so then we say, okay, fine. Now it is time to tolerate. I cannot sacrifice this because abhi marne ka like situation aaya. So then what will be there? Like my spiritual consciousness will be less. Then I will become cat or a dog or something like that. So then it is a problem. So in that way, like it's like a transcendental businessman. We need to calculate. So our priorities. And we should not just simply calculate ourselves, we should take guidance of other superiors, and in that way, like, we'll get a nice balanced instruction, how much to do, what to do, and things like that. Thanks. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, many times I confuse like how to judge if this particular task is satisfying my senses or the Krishna senses. For example, I have two examples. Suppose I am listening to Hare Krishna Kirtan from some other Sampradaya or some other Kirtan which is not from our Acharya. Maybe I like that tone or something. Now after listening entire day I may recite that and I am enjoying also. And I will feel that maybe Krishna is also enjoying because I am singing for him. He is also liking this tune. But we heard that we should not also listen out of our Acharya's Vani like that. So there is a confusion. Or sometimes when suppose I wish to have to eat something, this dish today, but some particular dish. So I will think that I will cook it for Krishna. Krishna will also enjoy this dish. And sometimes I think maybe Krishna wanted to eat this, that's why that desire came to my heart. So, I mean, there is a big confusion if whether I am satisfying daily my needs only or it's for...
See, one thing is like we are coming from the complete training of sense gratification from this material world. So immediately to put off all those things is quite difficult, right? So for that, this, especially this making of a particular dish, which I like. So that is good. Like, first and foremost is I should eat only prasadam, and if it is needed that I will cook the dish which I like, so then it is fine. It is perfectly fine. And so it is like that is the first step of advancement where I have renounced all non-prasadam. I'm not touching any non-prasadam. So that's a very big sacrifice. It's a very nice thing. And then gradually, as I make spiritual progress, so then the choice of menu will come to what is pleasing to the Supreme Lord. So right now, if we have to negate all the things which we like, so then it becomes very difficult for us to practice Krishna consciousness. The first thing is, only offering, and after that I'll consume. Then after that, gradually I make my progress, I redefine what is sense gratification, what is devotional service. So at this point in time, we can define, cooking the dish which is pleasing to me is not sense gratification, it is devotional service. So eating non-prasadam is sense gratification. So we can start with that definition. So then I make advancement, then I redefine this definition, and then as I make advancement more and more, so then I keep redefining the definition, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition was I am a sense gratifier. Why you are thinking you are a sense gratifier? Because my Lord Krishna is there in the spiritual world. I am there in this material world. I am there here, being separated from Him. So why will I maintain my life? Why am I even still living? If my Lord is over there, I am out of feeling of separation, I should die. So only for the reason of sense gratification I am alive. So this is his definition of sense gratification. Also so in that definition, if you are doing if you are doing devotional service, you should die and go back to Godhead. So we also may come up to that definition at some point in time. But at least we start with this. Anything non-prasadam is sense gratification, anything that is prasadam is devotional service, right? So we start with that, and then as we make advancement, we can keep redefining our definition, keep raising the bar, so in that way, we can achieve more. And in concern to this one, bhajans of other sampradaya, if it is a bona fide bhajan, we don't know, at this point in time, we have many upper sampradayas are also there. So if it is a bona fide bhajan, which is coming down in line of some bona fide sampradaya, so then it is still okay to sometime we may get exposed to that. But then on a regulated way we get exposed to is something that our acharyas have given. It is just like an engineering college student, sometimes he may refer to some medical books out of curiosity of the subject. But everyday studies and serious preparation, serious indulgence, he will only do with his engineering books because he has to pass the examination. So in the same way, we have certain mantras, we have certain books that are recommended for us by our acharya. So we should get exposed to those things very seriously. And so other sampradaya mantras, so we may come across and we may appreciate them if it is bona fide, and we will severely criticize them if it is not bona fide. So because they are misleading people into a wrong path and taking them into it can be a disastrous things actually. So because many of the modern the religious flavor that is coming up, actually we call it as sahajiya, this one. So the primary thing is the whole bhajan is composed for the pleasure of the composer or for the pleasure of the audience. If such kind of bhajans we hear, so though it may be the covering is the names of the Lord or subject matter of the Lord, so we will, at the end of it, we will become only more deeply engaged in sense gratification. So that is why it is very important, though first and foremost, what is authorized in our parampara we know, Hare Krishna mantra is authorized and other bhajans and prayers written by the acharyas is authorized. So in other parampara we need to, before even we need to indulge in, we need to actually check. So with the material things, if I wrongly associate, it can at the max create some sin. But with the spiritual things, if I wrongly associate, it can potentially create offense. So then it can possibly destroy our advancement as well. So that is why anything that is spiritual, so before, it's just any foodstuffs that you buy in the shop, because we are going to eat it, right? So like before eating, we check the purity, the company, and so many different things we actually check. In the same way, like before accepting any spiritual mantra or any this one, so we need to do a thorough background check. So and better to actually stick to our parampara. So and if at all, for temporarily for a brief period, we want to study something, so then we can get exposed to, and even that we need to have proper background check whether it is bona fide or not.
Prabhuji, you talked about actually the Bhagavatam. So, since we are connected to response, so we know that even if we are not understanding or we are not getting interest, we will sit because we will assume that since God will be happy if we are sitting in this Bhagavatam class. But for the other people, suppose who are not connected to response, like in my village, Srimad Bhagavatam was there for 1 week. So all the people enjoyed because the acharyas would have come from Vrindavan. Like my father was also saying that it was very nice and all that. So I spoke the same line. Like I heard from Acharya, Srimad Bhagavatam is not for our enjoyment, it's for the Lord's enjoyment. So we have to listen. I mean, how to make, other people understand that Srimad Bhagavatam, how we can just...
See, at least the speaker should be speaking for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. And the audience, so it is already taken, like in Srimad Bhagavatam itself is mentioned that Nirvrata Karshaya Rupagi Yamana Bhavoshadi Shrota Manobirama Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanavada Kuman Virajeta Vina Pashupna. So in that it is mentioned, the Srimad Bhagavatam or the narrations of the Supreme Lord, for Nirvrata Karshaya, for who are like completely renounced and their only attachment is towards Krishna, for them this glorification of the Lord is life and soul. And for people who are sadhakas, for them it is bhava aushadhi. So they take it in the form of aushadhi to cure their material disease. And for common people, so like they will take it in the form of manoranjan. So like for it is not fault in the part of common people. It is like if the speaker is speaking for their pleasure, then it's a fault. So mostly like many sadhus are there, like generally sadhus means they will speak for the glorification of the Lord. And the people will enjoy. That's fine. That's fine. But the endeavor should not be designed for the people's enjoyment. The endeavor should be designed. The people who are designing, they are sadhus. So they should design it for the satisfaction of the Lord. And people, if they enjoy, it's fine. That's fine. That much only they can do. They cannot do beyond that. So.
Like my question, some question which conflict which I got because we have some limited amount of time, and if I am working in a technological domain of something, and the things are changing so fast. So I sometimes when I think the time I have limited, I think should I read more Bhagavatam, or if I am not catching up with the trend which is happening, the technical technology things, what is happening, if I am not reading about that, then I am lagging behind. When I am not going and I am not developing anything new also with that. So how to...
No, that should be budgeted. The time should be budgeted for our material studies as well. And Krishna consciousness, without compromising Krishna consciousness. See, that is one reason that Srila Prabhupada was emphasizing about Varnashram. So because we see that like material nature will become more and more cruel. So like previously, like 9 to 6 job, everybody could meet their ends. And now we see that like 10 hours job, 12 hours job, and it's going more and more. And the material nature's demands will keep going more and more. So just to be relevant in the market, so whatever is needed you need to do. But at the same time, we should do some work towards like how we can go towards Varnashrama. Because that is a permanent solution. That's God-given solution. That's the permanent solution. So we need to do some endeavor. We need to do some endeavor. Like the last time also when I came, I was speaking about this particular aspect. So Varnashrama is a very, very important thing. If at all of us want to be Krishna conscious, want to practice Krishna consciousness, right now you see like war is happening somewhere. Our LPG is stopped. And we are having crisis. And people, if we were not importing, exporting and all those things, we would have happily with local technology, we would not be affected. So too much of dependence on not too many things, that is also making a lot of problem. So we need to come back to the natural solutions which Krishna has given. So that is very important. And at least we need to do research in that direction. So it's very, very important. Otherwise, like right now, okay, fine. Like can I reduce Krishna consciousness by 1 hour and then budget that time for this one? And tomorrow, material nature will demand like 1 more hour you budget, 1 more hour you budget, and then finally kuch bhi nahi rahega. And survival ke liye like we need to spend 24/7. We need to spend only for survival. So material nature will come to that point. Bhagavatam actually says, if we just follow the material nature's, the modern world's trend, it will take us to that level that 24/7 is also not sufficient to make the ends meet. That's the extent it will take us to. So that is why we need to come back to Varnashram. So that endeavor must be put, and right now whatever is practically needed, we need to budget. So and without compromising the Krishna consciousness. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta-vrinda ki jai, Krishna Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Also today is Ekadashi. Our construction is going on very good pace. So just yesterday we started the excavation for the temple block. The construction is happening in 2 blocks or 2 phases. The first block is the ashram and classrooms and govindas and all, and that's the behind block, and the front block is the temple block. So because the vehicles and all cannot move around, so we had to do the first block first, or the back block first. So that has come to the plinth level, and now we are going to put the roofs there. And now we have started the excavation of the temple block also. So it will go in double speed from now on. But we need Ekadashi Sankalpas to be brought. So only simple thing is that if all of us get 10 Sankalpas, so then all devotees in Whitefield, like we have more than 1,000 plus devotees, all devotees in Whitefield just introduce 10 people into this Ekadashi Sankalpa of contributing 540 every Ekadashi for 2 years. So then our whole temple construction is like done. So we will get this simple endeavor will raise funds to the tune of 25 crores. So it is very, very powerful, this one. So we came up with this kind of scheme so that we should not disturb our preaching endeavor. So we should not at any point in time reduce or shift our focus to anything else. So that is why we came up with this scheme. So please try your best to introduce your bit of 10 people. So at least start with immediate targets you can have. Like Ram Navami is coming, before that I should endeavor to register at least 3 people, 4 people like that. So in that way we can do something nice for the construction of the temple. Hare Krishna. All the best. All the best. Congratulations.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Would like to thank on the behalf of ISKCON ACS here Whitefield, His Grace Vaishnav Prabhuji, again very nicely and practically sharing with us how we have to keep Krishna, Lord Gauranga, at our center and to balance our material and spiritual activities. Very practical, Prabhuji. And thank you for sharing the anecdotes. So let's loudly chant with Hare Krishna for Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,